welcome everyone. This morning's daily market report brought to you on behalf of CommunityFT for all CommunityFT members, in which we shall take a look at some potential movements to occur over the next 24 hours. But before we do that, at this point, let us briefly engage and embrace a quick risk warning. So let's familiarise ourselves with the info in front to engage as much as is possible so that hereafter any decisions you make in your trading are of a fully informed nature. Okay, on the cards for us today, we're going to take a look at some economies, the value of those economies as is reflected by the value of their currency. Let's also take a look then at some commodities. So in front of us, guys, we're looking at the daily chart now of Euro US dollar, okay? And I'm going to remove some of these overlays and explain why they were placed in. Over the last given period of time, when we zoom out, we noticed that the Euro US dollar had been ranging for quite a long period of time, subsequently fall and really and truly fell, and the US dollar strengthened a great deal. And now we seem to be on what we might call a bullish uptrend, okay? And that's where that original diagonal line came from. That was the reason for its placement. It's that the low prices had been moving upward following a similar gradient or slope, okay? And that was also coupled with support, or resistance I should say, around the 1.14 mark. Now, recently the candles have actually breached the bullish channel, or the diagonal of the bullish channel, and it looks like potential short positions may be on the way. In order to have helped us catch that, we may have been looking to use the 50-day moving average coupled with the 200-day moving average, and as well noticing the force index was showing an overall downward trajectory over the last period of time, which was rather subtle, okay? The stochastic oscillator also would have helped us in that it was showing quite a lot of convergence on the overbought side about a week or two beforehand. So there's potential short positions on the cards here. Now, what about exiting those positions, and how might we look to do that? Well, a great way to look to exit is to look for an oversold position on the stochastic oscillator, but that's been signaled a couple of times already, and it's signaled right now. So what we might look for on the stochastic oscillator, examining previous behavior, is when a very nice smooth hump forms at the bottom, signaling an oversold position, and then look to possibly exit that trade, given that this is really swing trading rather than trend trading. Now what we're looking at is the soybean market, okay? And the soybean market itself, guys, as I was discussing with some colleagues earlier today, is one of those markets which, when it does nothing, it really and truly does nothing. And that's quite evident here. As you can see, over the last almost year, there's been very little play, okay? Now, let's talk about what has happened as a result. Well, there's been a little bit of play recently, okay? And we could have looked for certain long positions using the commodity channel index and coupling that indicator with the 55-day EMA, the exponential moving average, looking of course for entries and exits using the same. But what's more important, guys, is that if you're using a particular type of strategy, let's say a trend trading strategy, okay, which is very, very useful and often favored by the larger institutions, it's important to have what you might call a diverse portfolio. In other words, a list of asset classes that you are trading that contain instruments that have an uncorrelated historical price movement. In other words, their prices move in a very dissimilar manner. There is no correlation that can be seen. And that means that when these lulls or downtimes happen on one particular market, oftentimes another market can come back to life and help us find some more opportunities. So we hope that's been of help and given you some useful insights. If you have any further questions, do not hesitate to get in touch. We welcome all your inquiries. Have a terrific day. We'll see you tomorrow, and as we say here, keep learning.